All right. I'm about to go live, ladies and gentlemen, on Dana Cumberland's channel, on the Real Dana with the Data's channel, later today for the presidential debate, the vice presidential debate. Everybody, go ahead and smash up the like, smash up the like, smash up the likes. Hit that like, share, and subscribe button. We're talking. Come on in, come on in. I gotta make this live stream. This won't be a very, very long live stream, ladies and gentlemen. Why don't y'all come on in? Come on in, come on in. Whoever you are, wherever you are, hope you are blessed and doing safe. Ladies and gentlemen, greetings, family. Of course, I'm tuning in. You see me without the glasses off today. But if you're looking for some opportunities, particular advertisement opportunities, then look no further at the link at the bottom to my email address. You can hit me up for advertisement opportunities. We are supporting and promoting your businesses here on this channel. You can also, if you would like to donate and subscribe to our Patreon, a link is at the bottom as well. So you have multiple ways in which you can advertise with the platform by emailing me when we go on through our live stream. You also have access to premium content, those that want to see premium content that you will not find here on YouTube or Facebook or Twitter, as I am suspended probably by now. You guys can check out the Patreon at link at the bottom. But advertisement opportunities, definitely email me, gavin.grich1@gmail.com for rates. And for the Patreon, it is the same as the YouTube channel. It is channel gboot2786. All right, I'll holla. Peace. What's going on, family? It is 2024 strikes again. It is a sad day. We mourn the loss of an acting legend, an icon, especially among black households, Mr. John AMOS, who played James Evans Sr. That's the role he was best known for from the show Good Times. He also is known in our neighborhood, at least, from playing Coming to America with Eddie Murphy and James Earl Jones and Arsenio Hall in 1988, and in the sequel that came out in 2021. Mr. Amos has passed away. According to his son KC, he reported that his father had passed away actually on August 21st of this year. He released a statement. His family released a statement. It is with heartfelt sadness that I share with you that my father has transitioned, the statement read. He was a man with the kindest heart and a heart of gold, and he was loved the world over. Many fans consider him their TV father. He lived a good life. His legacy will live on in his outstanding works in television and film as an actor. Mr. Amos grew up in East Orange, New Jersey, born in 1939, December 27, 1939, to John Amos Sr. and Annabelle. His father was an auto mechanic. After graduating in East Orange High School, he enrolled at Long Beach City College and graduated from Colorado State University, qualifying as a social worker with a degree in sociology. Amos played on the school's football team, and afterwards he was a Golden Gloves boxing champion. He had a contract, actually, most people don't know this, but he started his career as a football player for the Denver Broncos, and he actually signed as a free agent. However, due to injury, he was cut from the second day of training camp. He couldn't run a 40-yard dash because of a pulled hamstring. So he played United Football League with Canton Bulldogs and the Joliet Explorers. And in 1965, he played with the Norfolk Neptunes. And in the Continental Football League, also playing with the Wheeling Ironmen. I don't have no idea who these teams are. That's why it's folded. But at that time, with football, they had the different leagues like the UFL, and they had the Atlantic Coast Football League. And the NFL wasn't what it was as it is today. And he actually signed as a free agent with the Kansas City Chiefs. But Hank Stram, who was the legendary coach for the Kansas City Chiefs, actually said, "You're not a football player. You're a man who is trying to play football." And subsequent to that, he returned to the Continental League, where he played with the Victoria Steelers, but he never was able to call on as a football player. So then he started to take his craft into acting, where he got his first major role playing a weatherman known as Gordie Howard on the Mary Tyler Moore Show from 1970 until 1973. Amos was actually the last surviving semi-regular cast member of that show upon the death of Betty White and Joyce Bulifant, who played Marie Slaughter. He subsequently did commercials in McDonald's. He also got his start in the cult film Vanishing Point, and he played in Sweet Sweetback's Badass Song, which was directed by the late legendary director Melvin Van Peebles, the patriarch of the Van Peebles family. Now, after gaining roles in Mary Tyler Moore Show and other shows, he eventually got his big break playing the role originally of Henry Evans. See, most people don't know that's actually his character from the Mary Tyler Moore Show. But most people don't know that you know what I mean? All right, I'm sorry, y'all. Looks like they keep messing. Every time I get on live, some shit happens. So excuse my French. Excuse me. But yeah, John Amos, that's his role character from Mary Tyler Moore Show. He subsequently did Good Times. Most people don't know this, as I was saying. His spinoff Good Times was a spinoff of Mob. The spinoff Mob was a spinoff of All in the Family. And Good Times was actually a spinoff of Maude, even though Maude was set in New York and somehow Good Times is set in Chicago. I don't know how that works out. But, they were so broke they had to move from the projects from New York to the projects of Chicago, I guess. But he played a character called Henry Evans on the show Maude. That was the actual character of Florida's wife. They changed it when she got her spinoff show for Good Times, because Good Times was actually supposed to be Esther Roll's breakout show. But of course, it ended up being Jimmy Walker's show later on because of that dynamite catchphrase. But John Amos, I knew him, and ET is calling him America's dad. That title for me, I think John Amos was one of the original. I believe he was one of the best TV fathers of all time. I think Bill Cosby, in my opinion, because I grew up with Dr. Cosby and it hasn't changed, he's still to me America's dad. I don't care what these baseless allegations are, in my humble opinion. But John Amos was the first, and I give him the credit. He was the first black father that we saw on television. Also, what I know him from was playing the adult Kunta Kinte in Roots. Now, he got actually Emmy nominations for that role. I don't believe he won, and I think the reason he lost was because Louis Gossett Jr. I think got the award for Best Supporting Actor in a miniseries role. Now, Kunta Kinte, yeah, Kunta Kinte he played the adult Kunta Kinte in I think it was the fourth episode of Roots, if I'm not mistaken. And Roots was a miniseries, of course, before my time, but we had to watch that even as a kid. I remember my earliest time watching Roots was probably around 1992. I was about 6, 7 years old. Uh, at that time, Alex Haley had passed, I think, that year, and they were showing it during Black History Month. So we got to watch Roots as a kid. My mom and dad made sure we watched it to learn, especially about the history of slavery, something that young kids, for the first time, I don't think most Americans knew the impact of the transatlantic slave trade on Black people until they saw that miniseries Roots. And you saw, even though it was Hollywood, how it broke up families, the dangerous side, uh, the negative. Well, all slavery is negative, but most people for the first time never saw that, and Roots tackled it head on. And in part, the reason why it was so dramatic and appealing to everyone was because of the performance of all the actors, especially Mr. Amos's role as an adult Kunta Kinte. Now, subsequent to that, he had other movie roles. I remember him in Die Hard 2, where he played a villainous major against Bruce Willis. He also played a captain in a movie called Lockdown with Sylvester Stallone. So he's acted with some of the great action stars of our time. Of course, acting with Eddie Murphy and Coming to America, playing his future father-in-law, which was a great movie, probably one of my favorite Eddie Murphy movies. I think one of his best, and uh, I still get a kick out of him and James Earl Jones, and that scene at their house when James Earl Jones said that his daughter is beneath me, and I do not have to. He said his daughter is beneath him, and he said, "Now you say one more word about Lisa, and I'm gonna break my foot off in your hands." And James Earl Jones' character says, "Come again." So I'm gonna break my foot off in your royal ass. Excuse me. I never forgot that. Yeah, but John Amos, ladies and gentlemen, 84 years old now. I got to report there's a caveat asterisk to this. He continued acting into even his 80s. In fact, he actually did the Coming to America sequel that was in 2021. He did a great job with that role, although he was in a supporting role. And I'm learning that he passed away on August 21st of this year, but the family chose not to announce it till today. So we're just hearing about his passing for the first time today. Uh, all of this, of course, is sad when you lose an iconic actor, someone who you don't even know, but that you feel like you've known them all your lives. That's how we look at celebrities. But John Amos, and I look at it, he was a man's man. He accomplished great things in his career. He actually made it in a business that was not as forgiving, especially among Black actors at that time. And even though it was not something he initially planned because he wanted a career in football, he actually loved doing what he did as an actor. Of course, one of my favorite, another movie I love him in, and I'm thinking of this, was the Let's Do It Again movie, where he played Kansas City Mac, the villain in that movie, along with Bill Cosby and Sidney Poitier. And I know he also guest starred on the Cosby Show. There was some things, and I've had mixed feelings about it because there was some stuff that John Amos had said about Dr. Cosby. You reap what you sow, I think, was the remark he made when he was interviewed by on by Lunel on Vlad TV. Now, I don't wish death on anybody. I did not agree with Mr. Amos's take on the Cosby scandal. I certainly didn't agree with it. I do think it was unnecessary, but I don't wish death on a man or wish karma on him for that. I know that he did have, there were some allegations a few years ago where the Colorado Bureau of Investigation in 2023 had to come and check because there was allegations of elder abuse against him, I believe involving his daughter at that time, but I don't think anything happened from it. Nevertheless, man, his daughter was Shannon Amos. His son was Casey Amos. They were born. He was married twice. His first marriage was to Noel Mickelson, and his second marriage was to Lillian Lehman in 1978, 1979. Mr. Amos resided in West Cliff, Colorado, and he passed away on August 21st of this year in Los Angeles, although of natural causes. No cause of death was given. But I'll just say, let's say natural causes. That is a cause of death. But Mr. Amos had a storied career. I was a big fan. I was a fan of Good Times. I still am. He's always going to be alive in those reruns and TV series. So when I think of our favorite actors that are gone, I look back at those TV shows. I look at the movies, and I think of it as them saying hello, that they're still with us in a special way. But John Amos lived a hell of a life, and I wish him and his family Godspeed. So, with that said, guys, and we don't have, and I have to say this as an epilogue, and I really mean this at the end as an epilogue. I look at that, I notice that we don't have too many black icons, black male entertainers, male icons with that image, a strong, stern father who was a loving father, but he was stern when he needed to be. He was tough. And that's what James Evans was. And, the Good Times, when he was fired from the show Good Times, he had to fight with, it was in part because he didn't get along with a lot of the writers in the writing and how they kept feeding JJ with these dynamite catchphrases. And John Amos, to his credit, stated he wasn't as diplomatic in his youth at that time as he would have been today. He said he had no idea of diplomacy because he got angry with the writers, including Norman Lear. He called them out even on Ebony and Jet magazine. He did an article. They did an interview with him after they gave him a raise, and he criticized the writing. He didn't care. And, for all intents and purposes, that killed Good Times. That destroyed the show. But John Amos stood his ground. And, eventually, a few months later, he thought he would never work in Hollywood again, but he persevered. He actually ended up doing Roots. So, John Amos, I just want to say, sir, I wish you nothing and your family, nothing but the best. Rest in peace. Great TV dad. They don't make them like this anymore. I don't think you can ever get a show like a Good Times or a Sanford and Son. Those shows, especially from the 70s, because everything is so politically correct. I don't think you can get that anymore. I certainly don't think they want to have roles with strong black men in them anymore. And John Amos was the architect. He was the archetype for that, famous for that strong black father. So may he rest in peace. And anyway, guys, I'm sorry. I'm stumbling and bumbling. I sound like rolling. Good Times. I bet you John Amos was a Democrat, you stupid ass fools. All right. Let me get on. I'm about to go on Real Dana with the data. Real. Let me get out of here. All right. All right. Rest in peace, John Amos, man. Y'all tell me what your favorite John Amos role is in the chat. All right. We'll see y'all a little bit later. Be one, be safe, be blessed. Check me out on the Real Dana with the Data show. Right now, we're going to be covering the vice presidential debate that's coming on. I think it's on NBC right now. So go ahead, guys. All right, I'll see y'all. See you, CC. That's all, folks. Stupid ass fools.